Hey, you're you. I'm Casual, and this is GunsUp Mobile. Today, let's talk about the assault car. Right now, there's an event going on that's going to give you some tokens for unlocking vehicles, specifically the assault car and the APC. And it's a great time to get some more tokens to level up your skills, get some more tokens, give you free armory points, essentially, for those of you who have these vehicles maxed out. But the purpose of this video mostly is just to give you an idea of, what is the assault car and how does it perform at end game? How does it perform around 1200 defense rating? Is it really good against the end game bases, the kind of things that you really need the heavy assault kind of stuff for? But hey, we've got an assault car. Let's see what this thing does now. It has about 30,000 hit points. That's very much on the low end. It's the lowest hit point vehicle out there. Saving grace is it only costs 15 fuel. And that means you can use it repeatedly without running out of fuel. You can go through a good chunk of your alliance war battles in a single day just on the fuel you have at the beginning of a day. It does 138 damage per shot. It does about 11 shots per second, and it has a 50% accuracy. If that looks familiar to you, it's basically an MG. It's an MG that has some more hit points, has some pierce resistance, and you can direct its fire. So let's take a look at its special ability. It's called Assigned Target. Basically, it's a focus fire, but just for the assault car. You can use it 4 times in a battle, and it's got an ability cooldown of 15 seconds. Now you're seeing different numbers here, and that's because of my skills. Skills are quick target, reduces the ability cooldown, increased duration, which means that you fire longer, which means you do more damage, and extra ammunition, which means you get to use this thing 5 times more in a battle, which brings you up to 9 total. The special ability, once you unlock 5 levels of the regular skills, the special skill, is called Suppression Fire, which suppresses the target that the assault car is firing at using assigned target. So whatever is assigned to the assault car is going to also be suppressed, which is fantastic because once you finish doing what you're supposed to be doing with the assault car early on in the raid, if you still have any ability uses left, you kind of still want it to be useful, and so you can shoot at high value targets, suppress them, make them harder for them to damage your units, and at least have some kind of impact that way, even if you can't always kill an enemy unit using the assault car. So let's just jump into some battles, jump into some raids. We got a relatively looking front base. These are engineers in a front base with a colonel. You know what that's going to be like. Let's pull out. You know what? Maybe not. Let's just do something else because we get to that later. This is a good one. This looks like a well-rounded base that's spread out. We'll see what our assault car can do in this thing. So you're going to open up the level. People are going to have some troops. They're going to be hidden behind some kind of fortifications. What they want you to do is they want you to walk through and start shooting you from the back, but the assault car is going to say no and take out some walls. My javelins aren't going to be shooting at this thing, at these units that are stuck behind walls, so we need to open them up before we can start shooting at them. The other way to do this would be to use a focus fire to focus fire through this line, but you don't always want to do that because that's a waste of a focus fire. On the other hand, here we go, we got an assault car, and we can just focus fire that way. I'm going to take it nice and slow. We're going to try not to go too fast through this and not get ahead of these units that we need to take out. So just one at a time. Slowly pick these guys off. Right? We don't want to get stuck with these chemists over here shooting up our back line. We want them in the front. We want to see them before they see us. So that's great. That's what our assault car is going to do. And you know what? It worked early on. It's going to work in the early bases. It's going to work in the late game bases. They do exactly the same thing. Because all of these things are very, very useful. And you can't really deal with this with focus fire. It's just too many units hidden behind too many line of sight blinds. It do way too much damage to be playing around with focus fire and whatever else. You know what? Just gonna do that. But these guys, I want to take that wall down. It's gonna be the last wall we need to take down. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the last wall we want to take down. But what we're also gonna do is the assault car is really good at taking down these pews because they're vulnerable to ballistic fire. So they're not very. The assault car is not very good in the front base, but it can, it can take out a pew, at least one or two, maybe some walls. So you'll get some use out of it. Maybe the next one, I will. I will target a front base. We are out of assault target uses, which is, it's fine. Not the end of the world. What shall we use this on? Yeah, I want to get rid of these chemists. Now the assault car is going to follow up behind. It's got a range of 21. That means it's basically not going to do much of anything. At this point, it's got a shorter range than my bombardiers over here, so my bombardiers are going to take over. And they're going to take over the show and clean this out. All right, there's not much else to show you really in terms of the, there's not much else to show you in terms of the assault car. So let's find ourselves another target. Wonderful. Very, very wonderful. So that's a good example of an assault car at the end game. You're going to have a lot of line of sight blinds. People are going to put them up. They love putting them up. They love putting chemists in there. They love putting commandos in there. It's brutal. It is very, very brutal. Now, this is not the best layout I've ever seen for a front base, so maybe we'll have some luck with it. Generally, the assault vehicle doesn't do very well against front bases. It just doesn't. It's too fragile. It just gets shot and taken out. But what we can do here is we can take out some barrels. We can, because I just swapped out my Trailblazer for my bounty hunter, so I'm gonna be hurting a little bit in terms of taking out these traps, but we got that trap taken care of. He's gonna blow us up, isn't he? He's gonna blow us up. No. It's all right. I'm going to clean out that wall. I actually don't even know if that's a good idea for us. Very much. You know what? You guys shoot each other. I don't care. I don't really care what you do. Oh boy. Yeah. It's not going to win us this battle, but it did something, I guess. It took out the traps. It took out the my goodness. Yeah, it took out the traps. Took out some walls. That's really what you can hope to get out of it, which is fine. It's fine for me. That's what I expected out of it, so I'm not at all disappointed. This is pretty much the best case scenario for a front base in terms of using an assault vehicle. It did what it was supposed to do. It took out, helped me take out one of the pews. It helped me take out some walls. It helped me take out some of the traps. And that means I could use my bounty hunters instead of using my trailblazers to have a slightly better front line. And for what it's worth, I think that's a pretty good trade in terms of not everybody has trailblazers. Some people are still using bounty hunters only, and if that's your thing, you really need something that can take out those traps or roll over those traps. I know some people use APCs and they just roll over the traps, but it's possible. It's just not really optimal because your vehicle should be more useful than that. Traps aren't that great. Take out a whole bunch of traps with just using bombardment. So that's it. These are a couple of really good examples of what the assault vehicle is for and how to use it, and how it starts off early game and you think this thing's going to fall off, but as you keep leveling it up and as you keep getting more ability uses for it and increase the duration and reduce the cooldown, it continues to function well into late game. Well into late game. Nothing really stands up very well to a solid front base. That kind of stuff, you just have to pull out all your vets, and you have to get a heavy tank eventually, pretty much. It's not heavy tank's not gonna solve all your problems, but it'll solve a lot of your problems, especially with those front bases where there's commandos, there's engineers. You kind of have to feel it right now, because with this assault vehicle, you gotta feel it. Like, is it going to try to squeeze through? Is it going to take out some of these walls first? Looks like it's trying to take out the walls first, which is good because you got these bounty hunters over here, and we don't want to have to turn around and fight these bounty hunters. We want to fight them head on. We want to take them out as early as possible. So just take our time. Take a look forward. What we got? And this is what people do. They'll double up on the walls so that you think you're going to select the front one, but sometimes you end up with the back one. And when that happens, it's actually really bad, because I'm not actually entirely sure how to explain it, but it looks like if you try to fire through a target, the assault car doesn't do as much damage to the incidental target as it would do to the actual intended target. Meaning, if you're trying to fire at a wall with the assault car, you're going to break it. But if you try to fire through a wall to the wall that's behind it, you're going to do half damage to the to the incidental wall that's in the way, and that means you'll need you'll need two ability uses. And so what people do is they try to align their walls so that you accidentally end up targeting the one that's in the back, and essentially getting only half a use out of your ability, and essentially wasting your ability use. So be very, very careful with these things. There are ways to trick the assault car. There are ways to trick you into targeting the wrong thing, and that could just be with sandbags. You could just put sandbags in front of walls, and sometimes You'll be trying to select the wall that you want to shoot, but you'll end up selecting the sandbag instead, which means you do basically nothing because nobody gives a hoot about sandbags. This is a really tough base. all these bounty hunters. Man. All these bounty hunters. Just shoot these things, will you please? Thank you. Yeah. And the assault cart doesn't really help you here, unfortunately. You just gonna have to persevere through this one. My goodness. All right, folks. I've been Casual. This has been your breakdown of the assault car. I hope you learned something. I hope you continue to use it, continue to enjoy it. It is an incredibly good vehicle. It's good at opening up your base, your raid. It's good at suppressing your enemies. It's good late game to opening up positions. So yeah, make use of it. It's cheap. It's good.